Scaling AI safely is an organizational capability. When you build it, teams can move new use cases into production faster, with more trust, control, and confidence. In this video, I'll break down a three-phase trust progression framework that shows how AI systems earn autonomy over time, and what unlocks each stage. Every organization scaling AI eventually faces the same question: how do you expand autonomy without losing control? The trust progression framework answers that question in three phases. In phase 1, AI recommends and humans decide. At this stage, AI surfaces insights, drafts outputs, and identifies patterns. Humans review everything and make the final decisions. This is where teams learn how AI behaves inside their specific business context. Phase 1 reveals where AI performs well. It shows where guardrails are needed, and it exposes how people actually interact with AI in real workflows. Think of it as the discovery zone. You're building institutional knowledge before expanding autonomy. In phase 2, AI handles routine. Humans handle exceptions. Once confidence grows, AI can begin taking action on predictable, repeatable tasks. Humans step in when complexity increases, risk rises, or ambiguity enters the picture. This phase helps define the reliable operating zone. You learn which tasks can be automated consistently and which still require human judgment. To make that work, escalation rules need to be clear. The AI needs to know when to hand off, and people need to know when they're responsible. The final stage is phase 3. AI operates autonomously within boundaries. At this stage, AI can execute end-to-end workflows within clearly defined parameters. Humans shift into oversight roles, monitoring, auditing, and intervening when thresholds are crossed. This level of autonomy isn't granted. Organizations reach phase 3 only after they've demonstrated reliability, accountability, and consistent performance over time. The most successful AI programs don't jump straight to autonomy. They build trust first. Then they expand responsibility. We've created a one-pager downloadable for this trust progression framework that you can use to map where your AI systems sit today and what unlocks each phase. You'll find the link in the description below. Moving between phases requires more than confidence. It requires evidence. For every workflow, organizations need to define what gets automated, what gets escalated, who owns the process, and what performance thresholds must be met before additional autonomy is earned. This trust progression gives you a shared language for AI governance so that leadership knows where you are, teams know what's expected, and everyone understands what it takes to move forward. So the framework explains how trust grows. Now let's look at what makes that progression possible. You can only advance through these phases if the infrastructure supports it, and that starts with 3 foundations. First is data quality. Clean, consistent, well-documented data improves reliability across every AI use case. It reduces surprises, and it creates the stability needed to scale. A small amount of high-quality data will often outperform large volumes of messy data. So investing in data quality early compounds returns across every AI system you deploy later. Second is system integration. Well-defined APIs allow AI to connect workflows, tools, and business logic in a structured way. Loose integrations create unpredictable behavior. Tight integrations create trust. And the more structured the connection, the more confidently you can expand AI's reach. Third is access control. AI should only have access to the information and actions it genuinely needs. You need clear rules about what AI can read, write, and execute. This is the principle of least privilege applied to AI systems. Access controls contain blast radius, so when something goes wrong, which is bound to happen eventually, tight permissions help limit the damage and speed up recovery. These three foundations compound over time. Every workflow, copilot, or agent you deploy later benefits from the infrastructure you build now. But as AI takes on more responsibility, another challenge starts to emerge. You need to make sure it continues to operate safely. That's where guardrails become essential. The first layer of protection sits before the AI ever generates a response. These are input guardrails. They determine what information reaches the system and how that information is used. This can include things like PII redaction, prompt validation, and context boundaries. Because if the wrong data enters the system, even the best model can produce the wrong outcome. Input guardrails help ensure the AI starts with the right information and operates within the right constraints. The second layer sits on the other side of the model. Output guardrails evaluate what the AI produces before it reaches users or downstream systems. This can include confidence thresholds, format verification, policy checks, and hallucination detection. Think of them as a final quality control layer. They're designed to catch issues before they become business problems. When people think about guardrails, they usually think about safety and risk management. But there's another benefit that's often overlooked: efficiency. Not every task requires your most capable model. Simple tasks can often be handled by smaller, faster, lower-cost models. More advanced reasoning models can be reserved for complex decisions, where the additional capability is justified. This approach helps control cost, while aligning model capability to the level of risk involved. What's important is that guardrails evolve alongside the trust progression. In Phase 1, guardrails tend to be broad and restrictive, because you're still learning where the AI performs well. In Phase 2, they become more selective. You tighten controls where risk remains high, and loosen them where reliability has been proven. By Phase 3, guardrails become highly targeted. The system earns more autonomy because performance data has demonstrated that it can operate safely within defined boundaries. That's what makes the progression sustainable. But even the best foundations and guardrails aren't something you configure once and walk away from. AI systems operate in dynamic environments. Models change, data changes, user behavior changes. And when those things change, performance can change with them. That's why scaling AI requires ongoing operational discipline. One part of that discipline is continuous monitoring and evaluation. Organizations need to watch for model drift, changes in user behavior, and shifts in data quality over time. Just as importantly, success needs to be clearly defined and measured continuously. Evaluation keeps the trust progression honest. It tells you when a system is ready to advance and when it needs additional oversight. The other critical piece is escalation. No AI system should be expected to handle every situation perfectly. There will always be cases where uncertainty increases, context becomes unclear, or the stakes become too high. When that happens, the system needs to know when to hand off to a human, and humans need to know exactly when they're expected to step in. Clear escalation paths protect both the business and the trust you've worked to build. This ongoing discipline is what will keep your scaled AI trustworthy over the long term. If you want to go deeper on the challenges that often stall AI programs before they reach this stage, we've also published a full breakdown on our site of the biggest AI adoption challenges and how to solve them. That's how organizations move AI from experimentation to reliable production use, not by pursuing autonomy as quickly as possible. Because scaling AI is an organizational capability. The result is faster deployment of new use cases, less compliance friction, and greater confidence across the business. At Frame, we help organizations build that capability. If you're ready to move from pilot to production, we'd love to help.